Alright, so you want to keep the Jester Farris after you reach the bottom of good old Shamsuk's tower. There's one particular thing you gotta do, or person, I should say, you need to bring with you to make this happen. So I'm going to run through all the characters who you could bring down there just to show an example as to of who and why and how to do this. Um, just showing there in the journal who we got right now. Yeah, we just reached the bottom. And as far as the version that I'm using, just wanted to show it here. It's the version that's 1.0, the gray cartridge, not the black cartridge, released February 2nd, 2001. Same as the debug cartridge as well. I played around and I did this a lot on my Nintendo 64 when I had it back in like I think 2003 or 4. It was a couple years after the game came out, and it worked all the same. But I wanted to try this on version 1.0, mainly because I could input codes that allowed me to make enemies passive, and so it allowed me to do all these different runs to this point of the game quite more bearable versus if I were to do it legit. But again, I've done this a lot on the black cartridge, and then this is on the gray 1.0 version of the cartridge. With Rita and Brenna, you can see here that Rita is the only one that has an extra dialogue box or dialogue trigger that happened as soon as we went through the portal. So it's weird how we get teleported around because first it looks like you're almost halfway to Oriana's hut, and then you get teleported back to Ferris's dialogue, which is like right outside the teleporter. And then we didn't even get a chance to move and immediately get teleported to the front of the hut and have to start this fight. So Rita's the only one that has an extra special dialogue that I guess you could have stopped her or bring her along and if you wanted to really read what she said. But I wanted to show you this fight first and foremost, sped up, so we don't have to sit here all day and watch it. Um, so yeah, immediately now here you are, right, right outside the hut. Ferris immediately where we're standing, boom, he takes the staff, and that's it. He betrays us. He was just available for that one fight. If you don't care about keeping Ferris, I would recommend stripping him and taking at least his weapon because it's very unique. There's only one in the game. And then he leaves, and that's it. We will get a journal entry that doesn't even talk about Ferris either. It says, yeah, we killed the wizard. Maybe he was lying about Oriana. But I'll tell you, she's definitely dead. She doesn't appear in the game anymore. Well, not in the actual world anymore. Um, but yeah, that was with Brenna and Rita. Now look, now we have Brenna and Artos. Uh, but I wanted to see now. Okay, same version, same journal entry. We're at the bottom of the screen. We're at the bottom of the tower. I mean again, but without Rita. Now with the cutscene not happening with her, just this one. If you look at the background of it, I think I chose different dialogue. Yeah, to make it shorter. Um, it looks like yeah, you're right outside the teleporter, but again, because Ferris does his little spiel, we immediately teleports us right to the front of Oriana's hut, and the battle starts again. We have to go through this all over again. We didn't have a chance to move around or do much of anything. So that was just showing with or without Rita in the party. Yes, it's still going to teleport you instead of 3 times or 2 times. It's only 1 time after talking or dealing with Ferris's cutscene. And then Ferris will leave again after that. This one was Abrakan Godric. There was a post on one of the social medias somewhere. I think it was Neoseeker back in the day. Somebody said you needed Beacon and Godric to make this happen. But however, I'm hopefully this will debunk that Godric has nothing to do with it. Godric's just great to bring along for fun, Definitely some of the greatest dialogues in the game. I got some pretty good laughs out of his writing, but he has nothing to do with keeping Ferris. Same thing happens. You bring um, Godric along. It's all about Beacon. We'll see here coming up pretty short soon. But there you go. Abrakan, Godric didn't do anything. So here's the man of the hour, the man, the myth, the legend of Lonely Mountain, Beacon. Beacon, and I just threw Keelan in there just to show you that's the last other person that you could get up to this point. And she, or just to show you, yeah, same version. Yeah, still the gray cartridge. Came out February 2nd, 2001. Same as the debug. A couple months later, they came out with the black cartridge, the 1.0 version. But with this now, since Beacon's in our party, uh-oh, look, the cutscene started again, right? So we have to deal with Ferris and go through all this thing and everything and smack him or whatever. But watch what happens now that Beacon's in the party. That's it. We're literally right outside the teleporter, and we can roam around and just walk around freely. No problems, no issues at all. But yeah, someone on the forums from a long time ago said you needed Beacon and Godric in your party. It's just all about Beacon. I've tested this here multiple times. I've tested it multiple times back when I had the Nintendo 64 console and I wasn't using an emulator. See, that's what helped me get around faster, is making enemies passive, which was nice. But anyways, so you can walk up over here, but you don't want to go directly on the right or the left side of the hut. If you do this, boom, the dialogue trigger will happen, the fight will happen, and then directly, immediately right after, you will the cutscene will play where Ferris betrays you, takes the staff, and runs away with it. And so, if you don't want that to happen because you're trying to keep Ferris, I'd recommend coming along the end of this hut, the edge of the hut. You can use the right side. I found it's more accurate with the left. Just drag yourself along the edge here, and there you go. It triggers the fight. However, we'll see at the end of the fight, you'll actually, the dialogue trigger won't happen, and Ferris will actually stay in your party. And you can still go into the hut if you want to. If you, I don't know, there's nothing in the hut since Oriana's gone. But what you can do, I guess, is if you wanted to go back in the hut to get the lightsaber weapon, if you input that cheat through the rename menu, you could, that would be the only reason why you'd want to go back into the hut. But I'll show you a way that you can get through there too, get to there as well. So, yeah. There you go. Also, before I forget to mention, Ferris actually has some really good, if you keep him in your party, there's some dialogue options that you can only see that'll trigger only with him. Here we go. Yeah, see, so we backed up. And then, yeah, as long as you back up, you can go along the sides here. I'll show you here real quick. But other than that, yeah, I'll show you here on the boundaries on the left and the right side where you can go. But there's like little circles, it seems like invisible circles on the left and the right side of the hut, if you're looking at it, that will still trigger the dialogue fight or scene as well. And then Ferris will betray you and leave again. But sorry, little scatterbrains. With Ferris in your party, especially, um, there are dialogues that will only trigger with Ferris in your party. Specifically, one right outside of Terminer, going up to the Trolls Bridge, and you'll find out what happens with Ferris and to the staff itself. I don't want to spoil that for you. We have one of our guys in the community, Shellshocker18. I'll link his video down below in the description, which will have that dialogue actual pop if you have Farris in your team. So there's a couple like that. I do believe there was other ones. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but that's just one of the reasons if you wanted to learn more about the lore. However, I will tell you after speaking to several of the devs, including writers, a couple of them, without a shadow of a doubt, you were not supposed to be able to keep Ferris. This was not supposed to be a thing. With the storyline lore wise, guarantee you, like damn near like what is it called? Uh, your hand sanitizer. 99.9% sure that nobody wanted um, to be able to have you allowed to keep Ferris in your party. He he his as far as yeah the lore perspective, but as far as oh yeah, yeah. So I'm just gonna show you right. Some people say that if you go through the portal here, then the dialogue will trigger here, and Ferris will betray you out here and take the staff and leave. I've never had that happen to me before. I've always been able to freely go in and out of the teleporter. In both, again, the gray cartridge emulator version I'm using now versus me playing on the black cartridge as well. I never had that issue. Um, but again, everyone has different experiences with this game. Is very unique and janky in its own little loving senses. Um, but yeah, even I'm gonna go over here and show you a dialogue trigger with Ferris with the staff. This beach scene where obviously he left. If you read the whole dialogue and everything, he left. They're talking about a story about the past and everything. But he took the staff and he betrayed you and he left already. But he's still in your party. It still works. So yeah, he is a really good fighter too. I'm gonna go over the stats and other skills he can learn here pretty shortly too. But long story short, to sum up this video, is just have Beacon in your party. That's all you need. There's no other need for anyone else. If it's just Alaron and Beacon or whoever your third is, as long as you have Beacon when you're at the bottom of the tower, you're solid. And there you go. Yeah, you saw. We got to keep Barris even after the dialogue plays. And this is the last one just to show, because Rita had that extra dialogue trigger that happened after we got out of here. So you can see, even if you walk out at the bottom of the tower teleporter here with Rita and Beacon in your party, Rita's dialogue plays, and then Ferris's plays, you'll still be okay. It's still all right. So I wanted to put that maybe rumor or something to bed, saying that uh, it, it it just doesn't matter who you bring. As long as Beacon's in your party, there's something up with his code. Um, I, I read that he has some unused dialogue or triggers in the forest area, so maybe something is causing a problem where it didn't teleport you like all the other characters do. So yeah, you can go around the back of the tower. But again, if you walk to the front like that on the side there, it'll trigger the fight, and then you'll lose after you defeat Sham. So then Ferris will take the staff and leave. But okay, so now you have Ferris in your party. He's again very powerful, and he's not quite like Alaron where he can learn everything, but there's some things he can learn that he doesn't have maxed out at 10, like yeah, healer, mechanic. Uh and the weirdest thing is he can't learn magic. I thought he would be able to become a wizard, but no. But again, you weren't supposed to be allowed to keep him anyways, so there's that. But what's funny is he can learn shield, but the shield itself won't actually appear in combat. But you can still have a shield. You can change his weapon, and it'll appear like something different if you take away his gestures weapon that he comes with. And then as far as yeah, you'll see it plays into effect because like the spirit shield here, -4 dexterity. Yeah, he has -1 there because he had other equipment on, but it definitely counts. It's on. He's wearing it. It's affecting him, his protection and his dexterity level and everything. Um, but yeah, he moves really slow though in combat, as you can see here. give him Beacon's battle axe that he starts with, right? I always just because how slow he moves if you don't use your frame limiter to speed up the game. I always just had him just like sit there and perform. But yeah, he's a really good addition to your team. If you need a good fourth team member, I don't know what else to say about him. I just really wanted to put this video out there to show you guys that yeah, you can keep Ferris. It doesn't matter if you're on the gray or the black version 1, 1.0 version. You can keep Ferris. You just need to have Beacon in your party when you reach the bottom of the tower. That's it. That's all you need to do. There he is. So I hope this helps you guys. Um, hopefully, maybe having somebody else now who didn't know about this being able to keep Ferris, you'll find some other like cut dialogue scenes or something like how we found out about what happens with the staff that Shell Shocker 18 posted. In certain other areas of the game might happen. Um, yeah, yep, there he is. Beacon's our guy. So thank you so much. And if you're feeling social, you can always comment below. We have a Discord now, Reddit, Facebook group, all that good jazz. I'll put all the links to the descriptions in the description below. And I wish you all happy Aidyn Chronicles going through times. So catch you in the next one. Thanks.